All right, Eagles fans, buckle up and let's soar into the heart of Philly football. Can you believe it? The Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0 to start the 2025 season, and yet NFL legend Drew BREES just dropped a bombshell, calling their offense, get this, boring. Yes, you heard that right, boring. But is it really? Or is this just the sound of a team grinding out wins with relentless, smash-mouth style that's got the NFC shaking in their boots? Let's dive into the story, break it down, and talk about why the Eagles' boring offense might just be the key to another deep playoff run. Fly, Eagles, fly. First, let's set the scene. The Eagles are coming off a thrilling 33-26 comeback win against the Los Angeles Rams in Week 3, keeping their perfect record intact. Jalen Hurts, the dual-threat dynamo at quarterback, is leading a squad that's leaning heavily on the ground game. 99 rushing attempt compared to just 77 passes through 3 weeks. That's right, folks, this is a team that loves to pound the rock. Saquon Barkley, the electrifying running back, is tearing it up, and Hurts himself is leading the league with 3 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. But the passing game? Well, that's where the critics like Drew BREES are raising eyebrows. Hurts threw for just 152 yards in Week 1, dipped to 101 in Week 2, and hasn't tossed a single passing touchdown yet. So what's the deal? Is this offense too predictable? Or is it a calculated masterpiece by head coach Nick Sirianni and offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo? Now, let's talk about Drew BREES' hot take. On ESPN's First Take, the former Saints quarterback didn't hold back. "I respect Philly. They're winning games," he said, "but I can't stand to watch that offense. It's the most boring offense." Ouch, Drew. That a bold statement about the reigning Super Bowl champs, who hoisted the Lombardi Trophy in 2024 after a dominant performance in Super Bowl 59. BREES' critique seems to center on the Eagles' run-heavy approach, which prioritizes grinding out yards on the ground over flashy, high-flying passes. But here's the thing. Boring or not, this strategy is working. The Eagles are 3-0, and their ability to control the clock, wear down defenses, and flip the switch when it matters, like they did against the Rams, has Philly fans chanting, "Fly, Eagles, fly," from the packed stands of Lincoln Financial Field. Let's zoom in on the offense. Jalen Hurts, the 27-year-old quarterback who's become the heartbeat of this team, is running an offense that is physical as it gets. With 99 rushing attempts, the Eagles are averaging 122 yards per game on the ground. That's thanks in large part to Saquon Barkley, who's coming off a monstrous 2024 season with over 2,000 scrimmage yards and 45 touchdowns. Barkley's explosive runs and ability to break tackles make him a nightmare for linebackers. And let's not forget the infamous tush-push, that polarizing quarterback sneak where Hurts and the offensive line, led by future Hall of Famer Jason Kelce, now retired but still a spiritual leader, bulldoze their way to first downs and touchdowns. Love it or hate it, the tush-push is a weapon, and it's helped Philly score points in clutch moments. But the passing game? That's where things get interesting. Star wide receiver A.J. Brown, one of the league's most dynamic playmakers, has been vocal about wanting more targets. In the first 2 games, Hurts threw to Brown just 9 times, resulting in 6 catches for a measly 35 yards. For context, Brown's no stranger big numbers. He racked up over 1,450 yards in each of his first 2 seasons with Philly. So what's the holdup? Brown didn't mince words in a recent Philadelphia Inquirer interview. "I truly believe we got so many good players on this team, and at times it can feel like we're being conservative. I think it should be to let your killers do their thing and play fast and aggressive." Brown's frustration is understandable. He's a game changer, a 6 feet 1 inch, 226-pound beast who can outmuscle cornerbacks and turn short passes into long gains. And in Week 3, we saw a glimpse of that potential. Brown hauled in 6 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown against the Rams, proving he's ready to explode if given the chance. Now, let's bring in some expert perspective. Former Colts center Jeff Saturday, speaking on Get Up, pushed back on BREES' boring label. He pointed out that the Eagles' passing game, while not flashy, is strategic. Sidney slants and checks down Charlie, and all of a sudden we just act, Saturday said. They completed like 27 passes in 2 yards or less. That's the same as running the ball, Drew. Saturday's got a point. The Eagles' passing game is averaging 159.7 yards per game, but it's built on short, efficient throws that keep defenses honest. Combine that with their dominant rushing attack, and you got an offense that controls the tempo and wears opponents down. It's not about airing out for 300 yards. It's about winning the war in the trenches, something Philly's offensive line, with stalwarts like Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, does better than anyone. Let's put this in historical context. The Eagles have always been a team built on toughness. From the days of Reggie White sacking quarterbacks to Brian Dawkins delivering bone-rattling hits. This 2025 squad carries that same DNA. Think back to their 2017 Super Bowl run, when Nick Foles, yes, Big Nick energy, led Philly to a 41-33 upset over Tom Brady's Patriots. That team, like this one, leaned on a balanced attack and a ferocious defense. Fast forward to 2024, and the Eagles' Super Bowl 59 victory cemented their status as a modern NFL powerhouse. Jalen Hurts, who was named Super Bowl MVP, showed he could make big throws when it mattered most, including a game-sealing touchdown pass to Devonta Smith. So, when critics like BREES call this offense boring, they might be overlooking Philly's ability to adapt. As Saturday noted, the Eagles can flip the switch when needed, going from ground and pound to airing out in a heartbeat. Statistically, the Eagles are holding their own. Their 122 rushing yard per game rank among the league's best, and their defense, led by Haason Reddick and ferocious front seven, is allowing just 17.3 points per game, second in the NFC East behind only the Dallas Cowboys. Compare that to last year, when Philly's offense averaged 28.1 points per game en route to the Super Bowl. The numbers don't lie. This team knows how to win, even if it's not always pretty. And let's talk about that NFC East rivalry for a second. The Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders are all gunning for Philly's crown, but the Eagles have owned this division since 2022, winning the East 3 years in a row. The Cowboys, with their high-powered offense led by Dak Prescott, might talk a big game, but Philly's 4-2 record against Dallas since 2022 says otherwise. And don't even get me started on the Giants. Eagles fans still haven't forgotten that 2010 miracle at the Meadowlands when Deshaun Jackson's punt return broke New York's heart. Now, imagine we're sitting down with Jalen Hurts after practice at the NovaCare complex. I can picture him, cool and composed, flashing that signature smile. Look, man, Hurts might say, we're out here winning games. Boring? Call what you want, but we're 3-0. I trust Coach Sirianni. I trust Kevin Patullo, and I trust my guys. A.J. Brown is going to eat, Devonta's going to eat, Saquon's going to eat. We just do it our way. That's the kind of confidence you love to see from a quarterback who's been to 2 Pro Bowls and carried Philly to a championship. Or how about a word from Coach Sirianni? We play to our strengths, he might tell us. This city's tough, our fans are tough, and we're going to keep grinding. You don't like the tush-push? Too bad it's getting us first downs. So, what does this all mean for the Eagles season? Let's make some predictions. If Philly keeps this run-heavy approach, they'll continue to dominate time of possession and keep their defense fresh. That's a recipe for success in December and January, when the weather turns cold and playoff games turn into slugfests. But A.J. Brown's comments suggest the passing game could open up soon, with weapons like Brown, Devonta Smith, and tight end Dallas Goedert. Hurts has the tools to stretch the field. If Kevin Patullo dials up more deep shots, this offense could go from boring to downright explosive. Looking ahead, the Eagles face a tough stretch with games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs looming. A win against either could silence the critics and prove Philly's ready for another Super Bowl run. As for the playoffs, it's early, but the Eagles are in pole position in the NFC East. A 4th straight division title is within reach, and with the NFC wide open, 49ers fans, Philly could be back in the Super Bowl conversation. But they'll need to balance their run-heavy identity with a more dynamic passing attack to keep defenses guessing. If Hurts can channel his 2024 playoff magic, where he threw for 279 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, the sky's the limit. Let's sprinkle in a little Eagles trivia to fire up the fans. Did you know the Fly Eagles Fly fight song, originally written in 1958, was inspired by the team's underdog spirit? Or that Lincoln Financial Field, affectionately called the Link, has been home to some of the NFL's loudest crowds since opening in 2003? Philly fans are a different breed. Win or lose, they're packing the stands, tailgating with cheesesteaks, and chanting that iconic song. And let's not forget the pop culture ties. From Invincible, the movie about Eagles walk-on Vince Papale, to Meek Mill's dreams and nightmares blaring before kickoff, Philly's football culture is woven into the city's soul. So, is the Eagles offense boring? Maybe to Drew Brees, who spent his career slinging 500-yard games. But to Eagles fans, this team is anything but. It's a squad built on grit, heart, and a relentless will to win. Whether it's Saquon Barkley breaking tackles, Jalen Hurts powering through for a tush-push touchdown, or A.J. Brown hauling in a deep ball, this team knows how to get it done. And with Nick Sirianni at the helm, you better believe they're not slowing down. All right, Eagles Nation, it's time to get loud. The Birds are back in action this Sunday against the Buccaneers, and you don't want to miss it. Will Hurts and company keep their undefeated streak alive? Can A.J. Brown break out for another big game? Tune in to find out, and keep following us for all the latest Eagles updates. Fly, Eagles, fly.